AIDS victims. Kids were turned into house owners at the age of 11. Phambi kwethu kanje sibuka kanje lento. Umuntu usambe emgaqweni uyazi nawe. Uma sambe esigaqweni ubesihlangana nabantu asebezoshona. They were 5 to death. You remember what it looked like, ne?
Yeah.
Leyo nto yastopeka kanjani? Uyakhumbula ukuthi yastopeka kanjani leyo nto? Angazi uyakhumbula yini?
Angikhumbula.
Ubani wafaka iphilisi before lelo philisi lifike. Ubani wayethethisa ukuthiwa there is a lot of money being spent on this Aspen pill. Ngibiza ngiverpara.
Uzuma.
Ngiyabonga ke.
So usho ukuthi, in other words, during the Thabo Mbeki era, he was denying existence ale ngculaza. Kwafika uZuma, wafika with the intervention. Yeah, this thing. Is that what you're saying?
I'm not saying he was denying. All I'm saying is they were busy bombastic wording instead of being
action.
on the ground.
So Zuma came and made action.
Wahlala phansi bambuza ukuthi waye lo mfana lo rich lo mlungu lo Aspen phela uyena ngisoshelela.
As we speak, should Jacob Zuma win elections and he says he doesn't want to be the president, do you think Commander Khumalo can lead, because he's the most senior person at MK that we know? Would you be happy, you as a supporter and voter of MK, would you be happy if Commander Khumalo leads?
Thank you so much for asking me that question. I support Mkhonto Wesizwe for one of the reasons I support Mkhonto Wesizwe is this: the individuals that work inside don't matter. Whoever they're going to choose don't matter. That's a problem we had with ANC.
Government there. It's ANC and EFF who were pushing for them by raising motion. DA and Action SA, they opposed that motion.
Ubano Petela.
DA.
Quantity yabelungu la ingakanani compared to yethu.
Small.
Yabona ukuthi yazi why bephethe? Asivotanga. The most important thing that South Africans must do is vote. Is that political consciousness enkhuluma ngayo? As voting, how the hell can DA hold power here? As votanga. This is one of the most hurting places. One of the most painful political places I've ever seen, man. Whereby a citizen yala during the looting, the guys were refusing me to use the ATM down there. They were guarding imall yomlungu bengasebenzi namanje abanalutho. Do you understand? It's the propaganda ukuthi bambe kanjani nabo.
Yes.
You know, it's not. That's why in Natal and Free State is different. We are politically conscious, and so
who will bring that solution?
Thank you. Let me start with the first one. The problem with the country is political knowledge, starvation of political knowledge to about 98% of the population. That's it. The citizens don't know what is politics, how countries should be run, and what do they want. And the citizens not knowing is not because of them. It's because of the way the system has been, created, propaganda and everything. The other day I was listening to one of the people, the Democratic Alliance and the ANC guys having a little debate. I chilled and I listened to them for about 30 minutes. They were talking these huge English words. It was like I was in a Olympics or a competition of Olympics of bombastic words. Not a single moment anybody spoke about the normal South African life, how South Africans, the stocks. His English is so deep that we don't even understand what you say. And so, I wouldn't know too much about him because, and so, but Mbeki, what I say on Kinto, we tell come out so he's called what I saw one. And with the advice you could see, SOE is not making money. Do you even know what an SOE is? To even put it under profit.
Yeah.
Let me explain to you within SOE, but I'll give you on ESCOM purposes.
Sure.
Let us say during 2024, ESCOM, because they like saying these numbers, ESCOM made a loss of this today. This advice and whatever I'm saying is not by any political person who's just saying whatever they're saying. You are talking to somebody who's a doer. Okay. You see, exactly the same type of system that I've been using successfully, to raise my child along with my family, is the same system I view in this political system. You understand?
Sure.
Right now we are flooded with sense of Meyiwa and these other stories right now, umuntu, what I can do, I can tell people not why they mustn't vote for ANC, not why they should vote for MK.
Okay.
That's what I'm gonna tell. Phala. Before
Sure. Sure.
Are you aware that uma ngingatholakala no $2,000 mina la ephaketheni? Ngingazi ukuthi nginganayo amaphepha khona yazi ngiyajela ngithi because it is money from another country. Uyanthola? Ngithole kanjani la? MK has always existed within the structure of the African National Congress. It's actually not only in saying MK as a word, but MK it's a socialist. I don't know whether they call it communism or socialism. It is socialism.
Yeah.
You understand? Amakomanis.
Sure.
It is that concept.
Sure.
It's a Chris Ani concept.
Sure.
My uncle was one of them. So all of these guys, all of us, after when MK came out with a party that could represent us, we were so happy. Hence, we all left. Because I was actually going to Juju, until MK came out. I was voting for Juju until MK came out. Because for service delivery purposes, The reason I don't rate him that much is because throughout the time they've been pursuing too much in terms of political achievements than the people came after. MK is the other way around. A person comes first.
Let me do this. Yeah.
At MK, a person comes first, then everything else comes after.
Please tell me, the last time you were here, we spoke about your past, how you came to be in Pretoria and stuff. Very interesting life. But today you are under a different visit. You visited us because you want, it's an interesting time in our country, and you think you need to lend a weight.
And the continent, not only the country.
Yeah, please explain to us, Mfethu, why did you feel it's important to come to the podcast?
Thank you so much, Kane Baba. What happens is everything that I share with people and the knowledge that I have, I like to call it wisdom now and then.
Yes.
It did not come with me. I received it from, I call fellow angels.
Yes.
So I realized a long time ago that it's a duty of the knowledge holder to actually share the knowledge. I cannot keep it to myself. And me having been interviewed here before, I believe it gives myself the right, to even come and say, I would like to share this with you, because I've shared with you guys, with everybody, on what I call is success, on the view. It's not the only challenge, the challenges that I had as a man, especially as a single father. Mm-hmm. Even today, people still see it as a wow.
Yeah.
You see. So that's the most important thing for the viewers, especially for this topic. The viewers must keep that in mind, that this advice and whatever I'm saying is not by any political person who's just saying whatever they're saying. You are talking to somebody who's a doer. Okay. You see, exactly the same type of system that I've been using successfully, to raise my child along with my family, is the same system I view in this political system. and the advice.
Sakhile, what do you think is the problem with the country and what is the solution? And according to you, who will bring that solution?
Thank you. Let me start with the first one. The problem with the country is political knowledge, starvation of political knowledge to about 98% of the population. That's it. The citizens don't know what is politics, how countries should be run, and what do they want. And the citizens not knowing is not because of them, it's because of the way the system has been, created, propaganda and everything. The other day I was listening to one of the people, the Democratic Alliance and the ANC guys having a little debate. I chilled and I listened to them for about 30 minutes. They were talking these huge English words. It was like I was in a Olympics or a competition of Olympics of bombastic words. Not a single moment anybody spoke about the normal South African life, how South Africans, it was just bombastic ANC words. I call them protocol observed.
Yeah.
That's what I call them.
Yeah, please speak into the mic.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, sure.
I call them protocol observed.
Sure.
I was so hurt to realize that these political parties even send people who don't even understand politics, who don't understand what needs to be done. Because South Africans don't know that with the law and the system we have, we actually are the most powerful as a citizen. They don't know the duty of a citizen, because now we cannot be always constantly blaming the leaders when it's our responsibility to vote for them and select them. South Africans choose political people like it's soccer, like it's a sport. They choose because of slogans, because of T-shirts, because of country. That's not how it's chosen. I get very surprised when I find black people wanting to vote for DA. That's how deep things are. I get very surprised when same people will be complaining that, hey, we don't have harms, we don't have schools, we don't have anything. Then I'll ask them, do you know the name of the councillor of your ward? They don't know it. You understand? So we really need to, I think it's the political knowledge first that South Africans need to learn. But right now, at this desperate moment, we don't have time for that. Right now we're at a point whereby us, as the one who know, we have a responsibility of quickly, what do they say, campaigning for the right ones.
Who is this right people who can help us?
By action. And who I'm going to choose now, I'm going to say it by action, not by what they said. I know that it is the latest political party, as in Mkondo, but the people who are involved in it have been around for a very long time. Let me start with Ubabu Zuma. He is the one that I firmly, due to his actions and the way he conducted himself during the time he was, ever since I've known him, he's the one who shows that, really, he loves us. Others, we have to, they get caught up between their personal wants and their egos and people. Zuma didn't. People don't even understand why the guy went to jail. I was there. We were one of the people who were crying when you had police coming from other provinces going to Nkandla, and in Nkandla you had people saying they were willing to protect him. Then just before everything just boiled up, what happened? A convoy of X5 came out. Had it not, the black police, South Africa, was going to be shooting at the black guy.
Very sad.
Thank you. So that's the first action. The second one is people have been very, very much, they fell for the propaganda that the way they painted Mr. Zuma. Apparently there's a Gupta, there's rape, there is even this one, arms deal, the funniest one is the arms deal. I still even get those questions today.
Just for the record, you are a supporter of MK Party. You are not a leader. You are a member. What are you? Just clarify for our audience.
I'm a voter.
I'm a voter.
I'm not a fan. I will never be a member. Membering, that's a stuff for like buying T-shirts. Politics doesn't work like that. I am a supporter of the party. I'll probably would never even attend a rally. But right now during Desperate, I can take part in creating one. Not in creating, but in supporting it. Right now, I do give my time. I do campaign. I do tell people. Because of MK for me, it is not a matter of just because it's cool. No. It's because it's the only right one. We've been caught in lies, a lot of lies, and we are now even fighting each other. The other day I had a huge argument with some of the parents from the school when I said, hey, how about we get together and we remove Afrikaans because about 90% of the children in our school are black. How about we remove Afrikaans? They almost killed me. You see, it's stuff like that.
African parents?
African parents, black parents.
Who still cry to hold on to Afrikaans?
Why are our children learning Afrikaans at Bayers? Just tell me one. Just give me one.
Don't mention the school. I've got no idea why they do. But
just give me. Okay.
It surprises me as well. 1976, June 16, people died because they didn't want Afrikaans, and you're telling me that the parents almost killed you for wanting Afrikaans.
Yeah. That's what they do. And what's the worst thing? Now, apart from 1976, apart from who Afrikaans belongs to, because I'm no longer a racist, just functionality purposes. That language in this country, right now, I think that making more effort to learn at least one African language, whether it's Sotho, Zulu, or Tswana, would be a good thing to do then for us to start learning Afrikaans.
True.
It is the most... Learning it is not... It just doesn't make sense. It's not going to gain us anything.
So one of the things that you love about MK, and in particular Jacob Zuma, I want you to state them, and what do you think they are going to achieve? For example, you could say with the MK party, these are the things that I hope, because they look like they are going to do. I agree, they say the manifesto has not been officially launched. So officially, I do not know what is. I want you to explain to me, yes.
It's those word manifestos, structures, point of order.
Yes.
It's those things. MK do things, then the paperwork comes after.
Sure.
You see, right now, you go to Kwaha, you find the MK guys, the ball guys.
Yes.
You see, what happened, what I noticed is, MK has always existed within the structure of the African National Congress. It's actually not only in saying MK as a word, but MK, it's a socialist. I don't know whether they call it communism or socialism. It is socialism.
Yeah.
You understand? Amakomanis.
Sure.
It is that concept.
Sure.
It's a Chris Hani concept.
Sure.
My uncle was one of them. So all of these guys, all of us, after when MK came out with a party that could represent us, we were so happy. Hence, we all left. Because I was actually going to Juju, until MK came out. I was voting for Juju until MK came out. Because for service delivery purposes, The reason I don't rate him that much is because throughout the time they've been pursuing too much in terms of political achievements than the people came after. MK is the other way around. A person comes first.
Let me do this.
At MK, a person comes first, then everything else comes after. I know that I do not have enough tangible things to say they've done this, and that.
Yes.
You see, they are new.
Yeah.
But the only tangible thing I can highlight is Ubabu Zuma. Hence, I was talking about him. You know, I would ask people, can you please tell me a single thing that is wrong that he did? Then they will say Kuptas. Then they will say I'm still.
Wednesday Nuzum.
You know. Then I would ask them, do you know what was Zuma's position during I'm still? Did you know, Baba? Have you discussed this before? Do you know? Can I tell you?
Please do.
I think it was the MMC for KwaZulu-Natal.
Transport.
I'm not sure what, but he did not belong in Department of Defense. In other words, he was not even supposed to be in a meeting of anything that has to do with defense or arms deal. He was not even supposed to be negotiating with anybody lawfully. He was not even in that office, you know? Now, Baba, 98% of the people don't understand it, just that on its own and associating with it.
So according to you, Zuma is innocent of the arms deal?
Oh, yes.
Okay, pack it and then go to other. Because what I want, I don't want you to discuss the negative sides of Zuma.
Bricks.
We want you to discuss the good things and what you think, why you as a voter would you want to vote for Jacob Zuma. I want the good things that you think about Zuma. The negative, we have heard a lot of negative things about Zuma. I don't want you to spend time on that. Because
thank you so much, Baba.
I want you to spend on the positive things of Zuma.
Purchase orders during Zuma. I was there.
Yeah.
I was there when 63s and the Ferraris are running around.
Yeah.
Now we struggle to get a quotation. You see?
Yeah. So people say during Jacob Zuma, black business, they were empowered, they were eating. Since he came in, things have been closed. You are one of those.
Yes.
You have felt that thing.
Yes, I was there. We were given opportunities. You know, it's a matter of how you are in terms of business. And I think a lot of people remember how nice things were. It's just that we did not know, you know. Then Ramaphosa came, when he came with this COVID-19 thing, I remember walking into a meeting whereby I've been asked to use my company for the mask, a very huge amount of money, 6 zeros, you know, by a specific bova.
Stated clear. Stated what are 6 zeros?
I had a 1 million rand purchase order, but I was only getting, I think, about 20,000 rands out of it. By the Maponyas, they had their own Chinese men. Then they had about 5 different, us, the young ones, because we were so broke, man, you know, that we were supposed to give our company as if they're getting this purchase order, but they even changed the bank account which the money goes into. You see?
Oh, so you gave them your company, and then they took your company.
They gave me a purchase order.
They gave you a purchase order.
And they made me sign a form that says the payment should go not to me.
It goes to that company.
To their
but at the end of
company.
the day, you get 20,000.
And they gave me about, I think it was about 20,000 rands.
So in the past, you're saying such lucrative opportunities.
The entire process
it would have
is
been
illegal.
yours. Yeah, but in the past, you're saying during the Zuma's time, the entire thing, those middlemen would not have been there. It would have been you who gets the
During the
6 million.
Zuma time, we were not going to have the COVID-19 situation. We were not going to be buying masks for so many billions.
What do you think Zuma would have done?
There is different debates about whether COVID-19 exists or not. But for us, the Lucas, when we first heard about it,
Don't mention it again.
Yes.
We don't want
yes,
mahoa gore batho mo go tswalla.
Yeah.
Because I can't remember ka selo seo.
yeah.
Ba abarate ka yona. So
I think Zuma would have done it the social way. We wouldn't have lost so much jobs. We wouldn't have spent so much money on something that... There's a reason why I say it did not exist. I've been in a pandemic too. I'm old enough. It was called AIDS. I come from KwaZulu-Natal.
yeah.
I've seen what happens when people die constantly.
Yeah, mawukhuluma ngale ingculazi ne ungasebenzisi isingisi kakhulu.
Oh, ingculazi.
Ushaye
Ingculazi ngayibona. Ngiyabonga futhi. Umkhuhlane ingculazi ngayibona.
Yeah.
Estradini sami kuvuka ibambe.
Sure.
There is kunezindlu mhlambe roughly, let me say 100. You know the street.
Yes.
Yeah. Out of 100 houses, to be on a safe side,
Yes.
in Jasekaya is one of 3 that doesn't have AIDS victims. Kids were turned into house owners at the age of 11. Phambi kwethu kanje sibuka kanje lento. Umuntu usihambe emgaqweni uyazi nawe. Uma sihambe emgaqweni besihlangana nabantu asebezoshona. There were 5 to death. You remember what it looked like, ne?
Yeah.
Leyo nto yastopeka kanjani? Uyakhumbula ukuthi yastopeka kanjani leyo nto? Angazi uyakhumbula yini?
Angikhumbula.
Ubani wafaka iphilisi before lelo philisi lifike. Ubani wayethethisa ukuthiwa there is a lot of money being spent on this Aspen pill. Ngibiza ngeverpal.
Uzuma.
Ngiyabonga ke.
So usho ukuthi, in other words, during the Thabo Mbeki era, he was denying existence alengculaza. Kwafika uZuma, wafika with the intervention. Yeah, this thing. Is that what you're saying? I don't want to
I'm not saying he was denying. All I'm saying is they were busy bombastic wording instead of being
action.
on the ground.
So Zuma came and made action.
Wahlala phansi bambuza ukuthi hey lo mfana lo rich lo mlungu lo Aspen phela uyena ngizwa washelela amaphilisi. Bambuza ikhehle kwathiwa imali engako oyisebenzisayo. I remember the interview. Yazi wathini? Wathi abantu bayashona. Ukuthi imali nesipendo anginandaba. Uyathola uZuma the most valuable item again based on his actions. Umuntu is the most valuable item. I remember his last kick off a dying horse sebemxoshile. Yakumuntu wathini ekugcineni sephuma into yokugcina iluntu. Wathi ama student afunde mahala wonke. Yakhumbula? Ubona ukuthi nafsasayikho manje. Ubona ukuthi kwenzekani manje ngithi? And the worst thing, eAchesville, I asked the Achesville people, I mean, like, ever since 94, is there a new school that they built? They said no. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. There's no new schools. You understand? There is no new hospitals. That's all. On a reality, African National Congress, basimoshile, abashayanga isibani. You understand about?
So the ANC has failed.
Yes.
The best replacement is
Someone
MK.
else.
MK.
Someone else. Before we can decide, before we can start to advise where we're going, South Africans need to get it. You need to have an ability of changing. That's why people don't change. We don't need to campaign so much ukuze kube no shintsho. Fanele ukwazi ukuyibonela wena self ukuthi akuyaphetha manje. Kube no shintsho. Oh, by the way, apparently there is we call it a bazaar whereby our SOEs are being sold left, right, and center. That's all. Basabethe South Africa. Hey, Zuma mosha ma SOEs. You do not even know politics. Do you know who's responsible for SOEs? Deputy. Who was the deputy? You understand about?
Ramaphosa.
Thank you. Not even knowing these people that he's the only one. uMandela ngimbala ubaba Mandela. Ngoba ispan sakhe yena kwakuthi asihlanganise. Zuma is the only president who never sold the SOE. He made ones instead. Who sold Telkom? That Saxon boy from Mbeki. Umuntu wesingisi. And to make it worse, when Mbeki talks, his English is so deep that we don't even understand what you say. Akaza khulume nathi, hlala khuluma namangisi nama economy. Yanthola. Umuntu I wouldn't know too much about him because yanthola, but Mbeki wadayisa yonke into. uTelkom udayisa uyisikolo wadayisa ubani kanti. And with the advice yokuthi iSOE is not making money. Do you even know what an SOE is? To even put it under profit.
Yeah.
Let me explain to you within SOE, but I'll give you on ESCOM purposes.
Sure.
Let us say during 2024, ESCOM, because they like saying these numbers, ESCOM made a loss of, let me say, 20 billion rand. Nah? Sharp. Loss of 20 billion rand. That's what they say in terms of business. Sharp. What is ESCOM's main purpose? Provide electricity to the citizen, right?
Affordable electricity.
Provide electricity to the citizen.
Okay.
Siyazo affordable. Provide electricity to the citizen.
Sure.
Sharp. In this 2024, whereby it lost, so-called lost 20 billion rands, it did provide the electricity. and I'm not talking about load shedding with this guy now, but I'm just talking about the way Eskom works. Okay, now we are kind. It provided electricity, right? And on top of that, the people who work at Eskom, which was not the objection of Ukre to Eskom, in it providing, there is a cherry on top. There is work people. I don't know how many. Let's just roughly say, let me just say maybe 100,000. Just roughly 100,000 rands. Baholile bayasebenza abantu. So for 20 billion rands last year, we got to get electricity and employ abantu sibahole at the same time. I don't know if you're understanding what I'm saying, Baba.
I don't. But
you don't. Let me explain it very, very properly.
No. It's maybe
it's the view.
Maybe,
it's the view of the way we translate what an SOE is as citizens that is wrong. An SOE should not be spoken about in economic terms.
So an SOE, in other words, you're saying
it's function
should not be expected to perform like a multinational company, because it must be some sort of an NGO.
Thank you.
Some sort of an NGO that. So non-profit generation. It must just keep itself running. It must not generate profits. Is that what you're saying?
What I'm trying to say, not that it must not generate profit. Generating profit is not the first objection. The objection is for the function that it must do. You see,
okay.
The function it must do, and it should not be looking for generating profit. Because, Baba, if I have to pay, for example, an SOE owes, like they always do. No, they owe maybe, let's say 5 billion rands. They'll have do they call it a deficit? Ne? A deficit of 5 billion rands after a year.
Yeah.
It should not be viewed as a deficit. It should be viewed as how much we paid for that service the whole year, which is two services, which is the function of the service that we're supposed to provide and the ability of such an SOE creating jobs, which is something that we also need, don't we?
Sure.
You see, creating jobs for people that we pay for. So for all of that, 5 billion rand sounds like a bargain to me, considering the fact that we've got almost unlimited resources that always go out, you know? I mean, we've got a 1 trillion rand budget that they always announce. You see, when they announce that budget, it's a budget for the following year. So what happens is, the money that is being used every single time by government during its function is the money that's already been, it's money that is there. And so about most parabox money which you intending on using anyway. You understand? We've already made enough. The job is when you make a budget of 1 trillion rand, you say next year we'll have 1 trillion rand. That is the money you have to actually do whatever you want as a country in order to function properly. So why are you going to want to be saving like that? Just like here, the municipalities take back the other money because they want to save, because they want to have books. You understand the way that the country and the municipalities run? They run the country.
So you're saying Jacob Zuma will save the country out of all those things?
It's not him.
It's him and the people he's leading.
Thank you.
So let's talk about what happens if Zuma doesn't go to parliament. What happens if Zuma he doesn't qualify to be the president? I want you to talk about those.
To be honest with you, I don't even think he's going to be in parliament. I don't even, the old man, I don't even want him in parliament anymore.
Okay.
Currently, what he's doing, the way I see, Palomo is a spy. He's very good at intelligence.
Okay.
You see, I don't even think that, yes, we might vote. Some of them are saying that he's going to stay for 1 year. He's the face or anything. Nobody knows what is the face or the person who's going to be representing MK during the time we have to vote. Now, me, I don't like answering questions I don't know.
Okay.
You see.
But for now, he's going to be on the posters, because we've already seen the posters.
Yes.
So now, as we speak.
But simultaneously, sibona nama-post IFP sebenzisa ugatsha buthelezi who's no longer available. So that's a thing that made me say with e-poster. There's something else. You see, there's something, the poster is not enough to say, what if it's just a marketing strategy?
Yes.
Because has MK answered whether he's going to be a presidential candidate or is going to be the one representing MK during voting? They haven't answered that. So why are we answering questions that don't belong to us? Currently, we are campaigning. And his face, yes, it's good that we're using it. But, Baba, that's a thing about Uglaita namakomanis. Asuphendula umbuzo singawazi. Sizozwa ngesikhathi sebesho ukuthi ubani ozoba umongameli, ubani ozoba represent ukuthi uba represent obani. Okwamanje, let us not speculate. There is a lot to do. And so that's why it is playing the opposition so much. Bamyise inkantolo bani kanti abazi ukuthi badlala igame ngabani. You understand, Baba? It would be very funny to find out uyongitshela usekume omunye umuntu ebusweni. You understand? Because even his face is also a risk nyana at some point. You understand? To me, it's not a good idea putting somebody else that nobody knows who's good enough is putting MK in a better position. You understand? Because Zuma fans will vote for it because of bias versus Zuma. But we are not interested in Zuma fans or communism. We are interested in non-Zuma fans who are communists. You understand? We are interested in clever blacks. You see, those are the ones that we're interested in. So putting his face there is very risky and bad for, that's my opinion. I don't know if I'm making sense.
I'm making sense.
So I think Uguti, once the IEC can release the official ballot paper and its face, that's when I'll know Uguti's keeper.
Okay. So now, as we speak, should Jacob Zuma win elections and he says he doesn't want to be the president, do you think Commander Khumalo can lead, because he's the most senior person at MK that we know? Would you be happy, you as a supporter and voter of MK, would you be happy if Commander Khumalo leads?
Thank you so much for asking me that question. I support Mkhonto Wesizwe for one of the reasons I support Mkhonto Wesizwe is this. The individuals that work inside don't matter. Whoever they're going to choose don't matter. That's the problem we had with ANC. ANC had too many leaks inside. You understand? But MK is a structure in such a manner yokuthi Omo president, you are nothing but it's a job title. Asizwa ngawe. Njengomuntu akufana ku-ANC whereby Ramaphosa can do whatever he wants to do the way he's doing it just because of the top six. We are not gonna, I don't think, hence it doesn't have a structure. It doesn't have no manifesto. It's very risky to structure such an organization under ukuthi isitulo esithize kuba umuntu osiphethe. I don't understand that. That's the thing that made ukuthi baba besenkingeni kangaka. I mean, nobody wanted Ramaphosa as deputy. You understand? But because of the structure, you understand? Wangena kanjalo. Istructure siyinkinga lesabasakhile. No top 6 manje. I mean, you remember the envelopes flying it's that type of structure. Hence, MK ingakasifaki structure. Ingakazi ukuthi ubani uyini. You understand? So when it's being thrown down, I think that in a political party, once we start having function, what's that word?
Factions.
Thank you. This is not, MK is not like that. We don't belong like these guys. MK is something totally, let me show you, something like DA. DA, I mean, they had Muslim man as a president who ended up being nothing but a little space boy. That's what I'm trying to say with Ngendlela. It's structure, a concept, the party itself, a strong icon. There is no individual who can overpower any decision. Unlike ANC, unlike probably, I'm not sure about EFF, but you understand what I'm trying to say. EDA is one of those political parties which has the same type of structure in Kurumanga. is the concept, or not the concept, but it's the belief of the party as a whole. Then that everybody else is a worker. You see, I'm out through stupid capitalists. You know, they really don't care about us at all. But they're so wild that they even got lumfana lo wesonto. Bampega, babapega bonke, understand? So it's what we should do. Tina, we concentrate too much on Uzuma. Zuma is nothing but apart from, let me not say ukuthi advertising for this moment, but kuba ne meeting lapho kuhlala khona izicupha zakhona bahlale bakhulume bonke. You understand? Ayekho umuntu onamandla phakathi komunye. That's why ngithanda kanjena iMK nginethemba kulona ngoba it's communism amakomanisi.
Okay. In closing, I want you to tell us, or maybe you convince others who are still not decided, who don't know who they are voting for. Convince them, or maybe encourage them why it's important to vote for MK in short words. And then when you're done, I'm going to ask you, MK is going to win with how many percent? Start with this one of encouraging others who haven't voted.
I am not gonna try and tell people to vote for MK. All I need South Africans to do is start to think. Hlaran phansi nabadala. Hlaran phansi. Nicabange ngendlela ebeniphila ngakhona, nitsusa iTV ne-DStv emakhandeni. Uyabona ududu labo lokubulo yikho nje benjeni. Uyanthola? Hlalani phansi nicabanga ukuthi sisukaphi, ubani wenzeni. You understand?
Sure.
Nibheke kahle ukuthi sikhipha nyeke ukulalela lezi ndaba zabilu. Right now we are flooded with Senzo Meyiwa and these other stories lapha endabeni. Uyanthola? Right now umuntu, what I can do, I can tell people not why they mustn't vote for ANC, not why they should vote for MK.
Okay.
That's what I'm going to tell. Liphala phala. Before ngiyekude nje.
Sure.
Iqala loqala.
Sure.
Are you aware that uma ngingatholakala no $2,000 mina la ephaketheni? Ngingazi ukuthi nginganayo amaphapha khona yazi ngiyajela ngithi. Because it is money from another country. Uyanthola? Ngithole kanjani la? Just to make things stay goes on, but bathanda ukuthi siya exaggerate. Iphala thing beng no 4 million. There was way more, but let's put it at 4. No, let me just make it clear. Let's put it at $1 million because there were tens and tens of millions. Course of. Yanthola? $1 million. Yanthola? Imali yalo yamchita. You know how we know imali yamchita? Sekukhona abantu ababoshiwa ngithi. La wonke ushuthi imali yalo yamchita lo yana. Yanthola? Akachajwanga. Kanjani? And by the way, why would the hell would you guys vote for someone, a president officially imali ngaphansi kwasofa? I mean really. Uyangithonza muthini? Number 2, anilutho. Nina nivotele insana next. Yanthola? I don't even know where to go next because your entire life is messed up, man.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, okay, Sharp. And then tell us about how big will MK win? Mawucabanga 50%, 55%, 60%?
I believe ukuthi kuzoba ne, in fact baba yangazi angikwazi ukuphendula umbuzo ngayazi.
No, siyagesa nje.
Inkosi uNatal sayithatha kodwa.
No, KwaZulu-Natal
Sekweyethu.
When you think 51?
More than 50.
More than 50%.
Yes.
KZN. Gauteng?
Gauteng, I'm not too sure. I'm not going to lie to you. And tesiphethe futhi i-Free State is ngayiphatha nge-act. Ngoba phela ubuye ukhumbule ukuthi i-MK, it has a lot of other communist parties strategically creative or act. EFF, I'm not too sure about it.
ATM.
ATM going to be ekabani?
Ya lo Zungul.
Nayiko manisi.
Yeah.
Ibona bayohlangana ekugcineni bonke
ngeland ihamba ngeland.
Siyohlangana bonke kunabadayisi phela ubuyukhumbula. Fana action mfana no action elikhehla. Kunabadayisi. Yeah, kunabadayisi. Bonke laba abafoundwe uNicky Oppenheim.
Sure.
Thina basifandanga thina. Bavale account yethu.
Yes. So Action SA okay no ngayibala. So you are taking KZN.
Taking KZN.
You are taking it without even fielding who's going to be your premier candidate, ne?
Yes.
And Gauteng, if you check, can you win Gauteng?
That would be there. It is only, in fact, I'm not sure.
All right.
Because you know the
Which
biggest
other
danger.
province? Mpumalanga, can you take Mpumalanga?
Njoba sidayisa ngeimvilophu nje ngaleni. You understand? But looking from the average, because we've been concentrating too much on not iy'nsumpa zakhona. What I can tell you about African National Congress, during these conferences, these things that they are trying to make, it's empty and people are tired. Bayaxoshwa. Bakubiwa bathuba. Abatlile batlo campaign. That's all. So they can also rig it. You know?
Can rig?
ANC. They can rig iluntuza. They can elections.
Why?
They're very desperate to win. And one of the most important things that they're going to do is join an DA ukuze baphathe. Coalition.
How do they do it?
Just like the way they always rig elections everywhere. These type of people who are currently running the country now are that type. They are the shady, they are the evil ones. They are the ones who can mess around with the counting. They are the ones who can switch off the load shedding and claim that it's load shedding during counting time. Vote. It's that type that we are dealing with, guys. Right now, we are not dealing with the honest people. I mean, we've got 2 dead billionaires. Recently, this guy of Germany apparently died. You get me, that guy of Germany of Stenoff.
Yeah, no, what's no Hambili?
Lawyer, the billionaire Corolla.
Yeah. Yeah.
So those are the situations we are currently with. But what I can advise, and I would really love to advise my South Africans, ukuthi ngicela ningalwi, because bafuna silwe ukuze imkhumbi iphume ingena lutho. Ngicela singalwi, and ngiyazi ukuthi mina ubalo wenza ukuthi singalwi. Ulo baba lo ngithi ngiyamthanda.
UJZ is helping the country ukuthi kungalwi.
Kungalwi ngoba isibhamu phela ubani ophethe isibhamu. I-socialism South Africa phela likwaZulu. Everybody got their own different, as in different cultures that we come from. Everybody got their own different things esizenzayo. And so kwaZulu kunamasosha. Kwezinye indawo there's different type of people. Lensonza muthini. Kodwa kwaZulu kunamasosha. And njobe hleli kuthulekile nje manje. Ukhona umuntu osho njalo. They've been trying. I mean, they're taking our king naked now. That's how far they want to push it. Yabona. Hey. Yeah. It's.
So what do you think about that guy called Louis? That white guy who talks. Do you trust him?
Outcast.
Yeah.
We are living in one of the most interesting political playing games in South Africa. It is, I mean, Ubalo, this guy who's the president of this country, what's his name? Rands. He's got the CIA. I mean, he moved intelligence service from South Africa, where he moved under presidency. How do we do that? Is it under presidency, man? You understand what I'm saying? The shuffling of...
So intelligence agency must not report to the president.
There's one thing report, it must be independent. I think there's 3 spheres of power. And so, Mongameli, Umthetho, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, manje uqeda ungene ghostini manje vayibrabya nini. Why? I remember, you know what I remember? I remember the statement she said before that happened. Uthe iphalaphala fanele ivulwe futhi. Yantsolo? Kwathiwa pithi ngespeed. Uzondo ke nje mfethu kwaphatha umkhonto uzondo. There's a lot of them they need to exile because bazoboshwa, but we'll be too busy rebuilding a country. This country ever since Ramaphosa has been run illegally. They've been breaking law after law. Workers of government abanye abakathola my increase. Angithi uyazi?
Yeah, I know others have, others I know they have.
And uyazi ukuthi ungayithola i-increase eSouth Africa ibhalwe constitution ufanele itholakale increase angithi, and mase kuthiwa uhulumeni umuntu oqala ufanele alide by example. You understand about? You remember this insourcing of security in Pretoria? Yeah, pause. Why?
DA and Action SA. It's not government there. It's ANC and EFF who were pushing for them by raising motion. DA and Action SA, they opposed that motion.
Ubani ophethe la?
DA,
I-quantity yabelungu la ingakanani compared to yethu.
small.
Yabona ukuthi yazi why bephethe? Asivotanga. The most important thing that South Africans must do is vote. Is that political consciousness enkhuluma ngayo? As voting, how the hell can DA hold power here? As votanga. This is one of the most hurting places. One of the most painful political places I've ever seen, man. Whereby a citizen yala during the looting, the guys were refusing me to use the ATM down there. They were guarding imol yomlungu bengasebenzi namandla abanalutho. Do you understand? It's the propaganda ukuthi bambe kanjani nabo.
Yes.
You know, it's not. That's why in Natal and Free State is different. We are politically conscious. And so, Tina siyazi politiki Tina siyayirana. We run the place. You know, the intelligence of MK was so beautiful, Baba. Uguti, my brother knew that ngo-7 siyaga Rands siyolanda ma TV. The CIA didn't. When I talk about the beauty of spying, the beauty of Amakomanisi's work, umuyibheka, it's so beautiful. Hush serious. Nobody knows what is happening. They didn't know nothing. I mean, for even them who's a babo peneke, jail. I mean, did it go to High Court? No. It didn't go to any of these courts.
It happens when someone disobey a court order.
But that was not a court order. That was a commission. And a commission has a fine of 50,000 rand. But there's a difference between a court order and a commission. There was a commission. And disobeying a commission, 50,000. And it was not the only one.
So you say Zuma was not arrested lawfully?
Yes. When I say a court order, Baba.
So okay, I don't want us to discuss what should happen if someone is subpoenaed, he doesn't want to come. A commission, is it the same thing as a court of law?
But the court that sentenced him, wasn't it constitutional?
Yes, that was the apex court.
Thank you. And we all know how we get there.
Remember, they discussed Mufasi. They want to constitutionally test it. The biggest place to test it is the apex court. The Concord said, then if someone has disobeyed this, then this is the sentence, and this is what he was given. That's according to me. But like I said, I don't want to talk the negatives of Jacob Zuma.
No,
because we don't have time. I want to give you time to talk, and in closing, to talk about the good things that Zuma will do, or the Zuma is doing.
Guys, I am not going to say anything about good. All I'm going to say is the guy they've been wanting him for so long that I mean, there isn't a single who's a businessman. There isn't a link of any money. There isn't an amount of money Zuma umuntu angasho wenza ukuthi nokuthi nokuthi wena wantshontsha imali engake.
Do you think
ayikho because if there was, oh yes, you know they would have found it.
Do you think the car accident
that's how desperate they were.
So it wasn't an accident from an old man who was drunk?
Let's just say that ututuzana wetagiwe washayile Porsche washayisa ngemuva kwenzeka
No, I'm not saying the recent one where the motorcade yaga President Zuma was
abefuna ukumcisha.
You think?
Yeah, I was lo befuna ukumcisha. Kunento okuthanga was it yesterday whereby ejikile bamtshela ukuthi wajike was going somewhere kambe yapi basafuna ukumcisha. Basafuna ukumcisha uzokuchazela naye basafuna ukumcisha.
You don't think it's an accident of a drunk man? I mean, that weekend, it was an Easter weekend. That's typical. So you think...
I'm a bodyguard, Baba. We are talking about people who umasi lana ku highway suke Goli uyelentuzeni thina sihamba we traffic kanje kuqhamuka ama motorcycles on the far right. We travel at about 140 kilometers per hour. Have you seen how fast the presidential car passes? Have you seen that?
Sure.
So we must know exactly. There's no accidents in this thing. Where have you ever heard an accident? There's no accidents in this thing. They only started now with the Ramaphosa saga, whereby the ministers are getting robbed because they've got private bodyguards. They were taking money at home and buy a pig. We know that. Lo abambamba inkunzi la eMaritzburg lo sisi lwana sesazidurisa khona. Ehamba nama private bodyguards. Wayeshiya uhulumeni. Waphika nokuthi bathathe imali bamphezulu.
So if anything happens, according to you, if anything happens now, so when you believe Umtolo when he said Zuma, so anything, so you think they are all out to get Umsholozi?
Yes. You remember they impeached our judge now? You remember the reason why they impeached him? No, ngiyambona uMkhwebane ubaba lo impintshile.
Oh, sorry. uMkhwebane was John Hlophe.
Do you remember why? Do you remember what he said on the meeting?
Isekunina manje.
By impinge. Baba, this I told you. Currently, we are at war. It's called war. And they are pushing and pushing and pushing for the bang bang. You should ask yourself, why are we not bang banging? Everywhere in Africa they're bang banging. Why are we not bang banging? We've got Mr. Asbestos, who was supposed to be an SG, who got, what's that word? Suspended. Bafaka, what's this lady's name? Figi. As an SG. You get me? You know what else we have? We've got statement. Have you seen the statement?
Sagaban.
The billion statement, Lesaba Sila. Did you see? Do you have a copy?
The court, no. The CR17 bank statement.
Did you see it?
No, I didn't.
Download it, you've got data. It was sealed by people whose names were there. He even gave his girlfriend, what was his figure? Nah, you pay it. All of their names are there, Baba. All. It's so many pages. I had it. Why seal? Why leak? Why seal? This is war. And the way it's being played, I'm so proud of us. Yambon, I'm very proud of us, man. It's the backgroundness of it. I mean, Juju is quiet. You check the way balance into an they have to cater for his ambition and everything. And so, and the propaganda that's being played with by the Gunale Tugusangazu, Uban Bazomenzu, Minister of Finance, Ubalono, EFF, Floyd, but people are concentrating on that. But me, the quietness of Juju is another thing that gives me much, because it looks like I wouldn't be surprised if unikeza ANC ithemba lokuthi engahlangana nabo phambili when things must happen.
Yeah.
Amajita azodansa. So yeah, that's about it.
You still have not answered. If Msholozi is not the president, who can be the president?
It does not matter.
Okay.
You see, because MK is not the type of party whereby there will be fights of what
positions.
Umongameli uzobekwa the competent people of kodwa kufuneka umuntu ocisha fane nobaba.
No problem. So you are winning KZN majority in the country. You think you're going to win 51%, 55?
We've got a problem with one of the biggest problems that we have that I see as a hump in the MK is tribalism.
Why is it? MK won only 1% in Seshego yesterday.
I didn't even know they were voting yesterday.
It was by elections where they're just voting for a separate. It was Ward 10 in Seshego. So there was a vacant position. So IEC, they can't say, because Sakhile agekho na uMashiyan. So they run by elections. So people contested there. the ANC won a ward that was under Julius Malema, and EFF lost that ward. So MK only got 1%. You were saying about tribalism. So if someone maybe in Bloemfontein does not want to vote for MK, do you think they don't want to vote for it because they?
No, Bloemfontein is sharp. Inkinga iLimpopo.
Yes.
They're saying it's a Zuma party. It's how the propaganda is spreading it out. It's what I hear on the ears when people are talking to me. This thing. That's why we into Zuma is and so on.
Yeah.
It's called the Zuma party. It's a Zulu party. And right now, ilenta bayenza about separating conquer. Yabona.
Yeah.
I'm African, man. I believe Uguti it.
You know what they're saying? They say if MK people expect people to vote for MK, why can't they? Why can't they? I'm trying to find the correct word. Why can't they help them when Ngizwe was swearing at Malema, saying Malema must go to Limpopo, must go to Seshego?
Samfaka esikoleni uNgizwe wabuyela nena wathula ngoba enye into wrong. But did you hear that? From what I realized with that, mfana man.
Yeah, because the problem was. Yes, because what he made was, he made people to say how this guy does not want people to come in, not because they are not Zulu, you understand? And so it upset a lot of people. And every time they debate on Twitter, on social media, that's where we can listen to people who are far away from us, from social media.
Yama KK, yama foreigners, una problem with Lendu Makenza ikulumayo. I mean, and us as MK people, there are no borders. Abantu abaningi ba MK, majority abantu ba MK bazabalazelo into Tanzania, if I'm not mistaken.
Sure.
Borders. You do know that honestly, I regard Zimbabwe as a province now.
Because they are
from a very long time.
They're already here.
Swaziland, Lesotho.
Why can't we just make them provinces?
Why do you think? I'll take it to another point. You remember when uMandela ezoshiya uBabu Gatsha ukuthi abambe for one day? Yazi uBabu Gatsha wenzani? Akalwanga, yazi wenzani?
Yeah.
First thing, whatever umongameli after swearing in, I'm sure wahamba waya ePalace. Mefika ePalace uthi sekunesikhundla kanje kwenzekani? Kwathiwa siphezulile Lesotho. Because Lesotho is one of the biggest insults abayenza kuthina abantu abamnyama. Wherever have you ever seen a country within a country? Are you aware that it's probably the only country that is inside a country in the world?
No, it's not.
Which one else is it?
There are a lot of countries.
Inside a country, Baba.
Yes, I can't remember them, but countries like Luxembourg in Europe, there are a lot of countries. Rome, for instance. Rome is a country, is inside Italy. So
that's a different concept.
Yeah, there's a technicalities, but
see, that's a
but
different
I'm saying.
But what I'm trying to say is, looking at it was very big insult because one of the main reasons they did it is, why is Lesotho a country? We might as well have made KwaZulu Natal a country too. That's why bahamba bathi bayephezulu. Why? I'll tell you why, man. There are American bases in these countries. Badli imali namalontuza in these countries. You understand about?
Sure.
That's why. I mean, Botswana, your language is my official language. When you trade the entire thing about Lesotho and these countries, it's only unbenefiting the people inside. By telling up isn't. When was the last time you saw a Lesotho man? I don't think that a Lesothian who stays in South Africa we are born in Maliak. In Maliagub. Same with Swaziland.
Yeah. But Swaziland, they use both the Emalangeni and South African rands. So when you're in Swaziland, you just buy with your rand straight up.
My point that I was trying to make, Baba, exactly. Everything, the way the country functions and everything is South African. I mean, Lana Sharing number truck I put Zimbabwe up and down, up and down, up and down. It's one of those things.
Tell me, because I've asked a lot of people who are here, what really stops us from uniting as SADC? So we're one country. So we're a region. This region of SADC, we're one
DSTV.
country.
And Cleverplex. That's all. That's it. DSTV and Cleverplex. Those who pay 20,000 rands for installment of a car and 4,000 rands for a Zimbabwean maid. The same maid who picks up their kids from school, who raises their kids and teaches them manners. How the hell can you have such a different, not no value is? Because honestly speaking, once I can afford a 20,000 rand car, a maid is the most valuable asset I can have. And so we were brought by maids up. We know them with, it didn't start now, it started long time ago. I'm a clever plex fig where English introduced a bazal bait. Oh, we know the wrath of a maid when mommy doesn't know. We know it. We lived it. Beskinya, you know how many maids got fired because of me? And so, ileyo nto leyo, TV.
Sure, Sakhile. We are at the end of the show now.
Thank you.
It's very difficult. Every time I speak with you, it's easy. It's difficult to cut the conversation.
I think we should. I really love. We will. We'll prepare.
You want us to do before elections or after elections?
Definitely before.
Before.
Yeah. During the time of this week or before the end of this week for Okopis.
No. We'll see. But I want to. Not too close, but around the same.
No, the same thing. We're doing exactly the same thing.
Yeah, we want just before the elections.
I'm not happy about
when a lot of people have declared, especially
because I'm not happy about the mindset I was in.
Sure.
And so to get me back, it was. I'm sharper. There's more. I feel like I didn't say anything.
Yeah, don't worry.
I'm not gonna lie to you.
Don't worry. We'll do it again.
Yeah.